Hi everyone, welcome back. This is another episode of The Stark Effect, and I am yours truly, Kaleef Starks. So this is the entertainment edition. I wanted to get into a few topics tonight that are, in the headlines. Everyone's talking about them. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit me up on Instagram. That's KALEEFNOW at Kaleef Now. KALEEFNOW, Kaleef Now. Hit me up on Instagram, follow me there. So let's get into these topics, okay, because there's a lot to talk about. Tonight, I wanted to chat with you all about Love Island star Sierra Ortega. She released an apology yesterday. Apologizing for a racial slur, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Megan Thee Stallion and her new alleged boo, Klay Thompson. And then also, too, we will talk about Nicki Minaj and her rant, honey, because Onika Tani Mirage has been going off, okay? So she's been going off on Jay-Z. We'll get into that. And she also tapped Megan Thee Stallion on the shoulder. Not in a subtle way through her Instagram page, a mess. Then we'll also talk about Ashanti Nelly, and we'll wrap it up. So before we begin, once again, I said this in my other video where I just discussed, where I have been. I probably will title it that. I want to let you all know this is the Stark Effect. This is not our weekly. That is a disclaimer, right? This is commentary. I am, commentating and reporting. I am not reporting on behalf of our weekly. That is separate. Do not take this as that. This is the Stark Effect. This is Kaleef Stark. This is independent. Cool? All right, so let's get into this Love Island tea here. Sierra Ortega is in hot water, you guys. She made headlines everywhere because she was using racial slurs that affect and that are used towards the Asian community, right? There were slurs found in her previous social media posts dating back to 2020 and 2023, where she was referring to her appearance, making these particular racial slurs. She was called out for it. Fans caught wind. Now, Sierra Ortega, by the way, is on Love Island. Love Island is super, super popular here. I am behind. I'm barely catching up myself, y'all, okay? But Love Island has everybody in a chokehold, okay? Everyone is watching this sloppy, tacky, everyone's dating, everyone's having, everyone's doing the do, you know what I mean? It's a really juicy, steamy, hot mess of a show, but it's good, quintessential, messy, trashy reality TV, right? But they are making stars off of the show, right? People are there trying to date young, hot, attractive people, right? Right, okay, so let's get into the story. So, according to AP News, former Love Island USA contestant Sierra Ortega apologized yesterday, for a resurfaced post where she used a racial slur once again towards Asian people, right? Now, there was a DM. Let's pause right there really quickly. There was a DM. Oh, sorry, you guys. Hold on. I'm on Sierra's TikTok here. Hold on. There was a DM where one of her fans called her out on her slur, and she posted that a screenshot of this particular DM in her TikTok video and on her Instagram page. Let me find it here. So here we go. So one of the fans of the show called her out and just held her accountable for using this particular racial slur because, once again, when you get famous, people dig back. People like to dig and expose. That happens to every public figure. Nobody is perfect. I'm not defending Sierra, but I'm saying every public figure, if you are talking reckless on the internet, it doesn't happen to everybody, right? But if you are someone who's talked reckless, somebody gonna dig on you and try to pull something out on you and expose you. That's just the age that we live in where people love to expose. Anyways, once again, she said these terms, but let's get into the fan calling her out in her DMs, and she responded to it. The fan said, "Hey, it seems like you're unaware that the word quote unquote, this is the word. It starts with a C. I'm not gonna say it. Y'all don't want nobody saying that I'm being racist, child. It's a word. Okay, so she said, it seems like you're unaware that this word is an extremely racist and offensive word against Asians. It's unacceptable and incredibly hurtful to be using that word, especially in this context, as it is a negative thing to have Asian eyes. You've lost a follower. I hope you use this opportunity to grow. Sierra responded, oh my God, this keeps, TikTok on your computer is really complicated to use. Hold on. Bear with me, you guys. I'm so excited to cover this. Let's see. So Sierra responded and she said, hey, Britt, thank you so much for this message. Truly, I am so embarrassed for being so naive and unaware. It's no excuse as the damage is already done. You have every right to be upset for my careless misuse of the word and so on and so forth, right? She said that she will hold herself accountable in this apology. She said that she is also a POC and a minority herself, so she should be a lot more careful with the messages that she's speaking. This is what she says to the fan directly in the DMs. Then she also thanked the fan. She said, thank you for educating me, and I can assure you this word has been removed from my vocabulary and so on and so forth. If you want to go read the full thing, go look it up, okay? Now, she released statements as well. And in the video that she posted, she said that this is not an apology video. This is an accountability video. Because remember earlier, she went to her TikTok, you guys. Are you following? Okay. She went to her TikTok. She released like a almost 5-minute video addressing it head on. Not running from the backlash. Oftentimes some people run from the backlash, she didn't really run from it. It seems like she's, I'll get to my assessment after. Okay, so she put this as an apology video. This is not an apology video. This is an accountability video. I had no idea that the word held as much pain, as much harm, and came with the history that it did, or I never would have used it. I had no ill intention when I was using it, but that's absolutely no excuse because intent doesn't excuse ignorance. Okay, so she said that. Go watch the full video. She is seemingly taking accountability, right?
Moment, the lesson was learned, the word was removed, and it was a true learning moment for me. And I think since that moment, I've done so much growing as an individual, and I've tried my best to educate others who might be accidentally holding space for these types of words that could be offensive in their vocabulary. I completely agree with the network's decision to remove me from the villa. I think that this is something that deserved punishment, and the punishment has absolutely been received for sure. I think the backlash has obviously been very hard to deal with, but I understand that people are kind of confused on why I would have even said it or why I would have been doubling down and continuing to use it. So I understand where the hate is coming from.
Then she also expressed in the video that people are calling ICE on her family, how she's receiving a lot of death threats, how she's, this backlash is affecting her. But she also said that the punishment is felt. She receives the punishment. She also took full accountability because she was let go off the show last Sunday during the finale of Love Island USA. She was let go. She was fired, okay? Let go. Allegedly fired, let go. Okay, she was let go off the show. They said that she was let go due to personal reasons. But now, possibly the network, any network wants to stay out of trouble, right? Nobody wants racial controversy going around the network. They don't want to lose their viewers, right? Love Island is everywhere, all over the world. People love Love Island, okay? It's doing this thing on Peacock right now. Like, people love Love Island. They get a lot of views. They get a lot of views. Millions of views, millions of fans. They go viral like every single day. It's insane. It's like a cult following, literally a global following for the show. So of course the network doesn't want this controversy around them. Of course they don't want this, right? So she basically said that she agrees with the punishment. She agrees with being fired and let go. She agrees with being kicked off the show. So that's the update here with Sierra Ortega, right? So, reporter hat off for me just giving this commentary. Oftentimes, celebrities, some of them don't really take accountability. We do live in the cancel culture era. Well, we've been in it for almost, I would say, like the last 10 years, where we've seen celebrities get canceled and all that, right? Now, she's a reality star, so I'm not really sure how she will come back to this, but she is famous. She has over 700,000 followers on Instagram, and she also, let's see how many followers she has on TikTok, because she's well known. She has 695,000 followers, a little bit over that on her TikTok. So she is a public figure. People know who she is, right? Most people run, but Sierra is, what I will say, and by the way, this is just me seeing what's going on here. She's taking it head on. Now, another contestant was let go earlier in this season of Love Island USA. Her name is Yalisa Escobar. She was let go because people found her on a podcast using a certain word towards Black people. I'm pretty sure we could read between the lines and figure out what that word is, child. She was using a word towards Black people, and she was let go. So it's interesting. It's really interesting because as a public figure, what I see with these celebrities is that we live in the age of opinion. Everybody and their mama has an opinion. Everyone has. I mean, this is my opinion, my assessment, right? This is me, Stark Effect, right? Everyone and their mama has an opinion. Is it wrong? Yes. Should we not be saying racial words? Yes. But I do think we live in a climate, and I'm not saying that Sierra and, I don't know these people in real life. I'm just giving you my assessment. I think now in 2025, we are in a climate where people are more bold to say what they want to say. I think that there is a push to not inadvertently, that's the wrong word, but there is a push to be contrarian and be problematic. I think people really like that. It gets views, it gets the people going. If you're on social media tweeting and stuff, that gets the people going when you have something that will trigger people. They call it rage baiting, So I think that that's something that's happening, and I think that some people do use that to get their followers up. They see what works, they see what triggers people, and in a way, low key, I think a lot of public figures do that. Not all of them, but I do think a lot of them know how to play into controversy, know how to say certain things. They know how to shake the people up a little bit. Anyways, that's my take on Sierra Ortega. So let's move on to our next topic right here. So Megan Thee Stallion, she posted a steamy picture in her little bikini. First of all, Megan's body is like, I don't like girls. Okay, this is a reporter hat off. Please don't judge me, okay? I don't like women. Not attracted to women at all. But Megan Thee Stallion, God, oh, she fine. Oh my God. Lord have mercy, Megan. Anyways, she posted this bikini poolside, promoting her hot girl summer swimwear line. Really, really beautiful bikini. It looks like a jade bikini. It's really, really beautiful. Now, she's sitting at the pool, stomach flat, looking good. Megan is looking really, really good, right? Now, y'all know I love my rap girlies. I love my girls. Sitting at the pool, and fans are zooming in, followers, people are commenting, because they're like, who is this man sitting in the background? This is sparking dating rumors. Klay Thompson, NBA legend, Klay Thompson is in that background. Now, Klay Thompson, he is an American professional basketball player, NBA. He plays for the Dallas Mavericks, currently on vacation right now. It's not basketball season right now. Chilling poolside with Megan. And TMZ broke this story. So it says here, Megan Thee Stallion is taking advantage of Klay Thompson's summer off season. The NBA legend was cryptically spotted in her new IG post, and it's because they're dating. Now, the two, I don't know if they've confirmed that. She just posted a photo. So I don't know if that's actually confirmed. So just because, because people always see a celebrity, right? They always see them and they think like, oh, they must be dating. You know what I mean? Now, Megan Thee Stallion was seen in a very intimate photo earlier this year in January. She was with Chicago Bulls player Torrey Craig, and they were in a very intimate photo. Torrey was sitting behind her. She looked good. She was in the mirror with her little phone. You know what I mean? So, anyways, Megan is young. She's hot. She's beautiful. She's sexy. She's living her life. And I love it. I like that she's dating. I like that she's not taking nobody seriously, and she's just living her best life as she should. Okay, in other rap girly news, Nicki Minaj has been going off. So let me go ahead and let me pull up the tea on this, because Nicki Minaj, first of all, I love Onika. I am an objective fan, okay? But I love her. I love her. I love her down. I love me some Nicki Minaj. So Nicki Minaj. Oh my God. Like, oh my God. I believe she started this on Tuesday. Oh my goodness. But she is making it clear once again that she is not really a fan of Jay-Z, that her and Jay-Z have this feud, right? Now, the Carters have not said anything this entire time. Sorry for it shaking, you guys. The Carters have not said anything, but she's thrown a little bit of shade over the last year, you know, during last year's Super Bowl and so forth. I'm sorry, not last year, this year's Super Bowl. Last year, when they made the announcement of who will be performing at the Super Bowl, Nicki Minaj was highly upset that it wasn't Lil Wayne, right? So there was some tension there. But let's just go through a brief timeline and continue that timeline. So there was tension there. But this week, she had a lot to say about Jay-Z. Now, according to Complex, Minaj's beef with Jay-Z stems from Tidal, which is a global music streaming service that he co-founded in 2015. So I don't know if you all remember, back then, Jay-Z had all of these people. It was like this big press conference. I don't know if y'all remember, right? This was around the time Nicki Minaj's Pink Print, I think it was like after her album came out, like right after her album came out. They all did these press conferences, and they had all of the top celebrities speaking about how excellent this streaming service is, right? And they were promoting it. Jay-Z was promoting it as, you know, this is black owned, this is black man, you know, we're gonna pay y'all artists more than, you know, Apple and Spotify pays people, allegedly, yada yada yada, right? So it was like this big press conference. Rihanna was there, Alicia Keys was there. I don't know if Beyonce was there. I don't recall. I think she was there. But basically every top black artist was there supporting this, including Nicki Minaj. So this beef stems back from back then. Now, at the time of the launch, according to Billboard, they reported that artist partners such as Minaj were gifted 3% in equity in exchange for creating content and driving value for the subscription service. In 2021, however, Jay-Z sold the majority ownership to Tidal to Jack Dorsey's Square Company for $302 million, right? Now, according to Minaj, she didn't receive a fair amount of money from the deal. This is what she said on her X account, formerly known as Twitter. Let's call it Twitter, child, or Twitter account. I received a call advising Tidal was sold and they made no money on the deal, so all they could offer me was $1 million, she claimed via Twitter in September of 2024. And I'm calling it Twitter on purpose, catch that. She later alleged that she was scammed and declined the deal. So yeah, just to talk more about this breakdown, according to her, she says that Jay-Z owes her millions of dollars. She's alleging that he owes her an upward amount of $200 million. This is what she said on her social media, on her X account, aka Twitter. We've calculated about 100 to 200 million so far. On July 8th, she put hashtag Jay-Z call me to settle this karmic debt. It's only collecting more interest. You still in my top 5 though. Oh God. So Nicki Minaj went on, going on Jay-Z. There was also this other post she said where Jay-Z ruined the NFL, he ruined rap. It was just a mess. She was saying all this stuff. And then in the midst of this, she also took shots at Megan Thee Stallion. Now you all know that, well, hold on. Let's put Megan Thee Stallion on ice. Let's get back to Nicki really quickly. Because earlier I was speaking about the Super Bowl and her calling out Rock Nation and hinting at Jay-Z and hinting at Beyonce because Lil Wayne was not the headlining performer for this recent Super Bowl. It was Kendrick Lamar, right? And now, if you all don't know, Jay-Z plays a pivotal role in the Super Bowl artist being chosen. He has a very high position within that, right? So, you know, Rock Nation and so forth. I believe Jay-Z is one of like the stakeholders of that situation. So he does have a voice in who gets to perform or not, you know. She wasn't happy about that when she was calling out Roc Nation. In the midst of her calling out Roc Nation, she also called out Desiree. She refers to her as Desirat all over her Twitter page, accusing Desiree of like having Roc Nation participate in shadow banning her content, shadow banning the Barb's content on Twitter, because she noticed that a lot of blogs don't pick up a lot of her expressions when she's frustrated, right? She wants the blogs to cover it. But the blogs decide to not do that. Now, maybe it's because the blogs are afraid of the Barbs. Now, we all know the Barbs is wild. Like, if you say one thing about Queen Onika, the Barbs will go off on you. Anyways, Nicki Minaj is going off. Let's get to Megan. So Megan Thee Stallion, she posted a screenshot of Academics. Now, Academics, he posted a screenshot of a Billboard article. The headline for this Billboard article says, Megan Thee Stallion and Roc Nation can't dismiss cameraman's lawsuit over alleged car sex incident. Now, if you all don't know, Megan Thee Stallion has a former videographer. His name is Emilio Garcia, right? Emilio Garcia filed a lawsuit a few years ago alleging that Megan Thee Stallion basically had like harsh workplace harassment. She would, you know, allegedly use profanity against him. And that even allegedly, and someone correct me, I don't believe that I'm wrong, but yes, this is what we have here in the news. The lawsuit, Garcia alleges he was harassed over his sexuality, degraded in front of others, and ultimately retaliated against after witnessing an alleged sexual encounter between Pete, that's Megan's last name. Her full government name is Megan Pete. After witnessing a sexual encounter between Pete and another woman in a car, he claims he was pressured to remain silent, demoted to per task pay, and ultimately fired in June of 2023. A judge ruled there is enough evidence to move forward with this particular case, despite Pete and Roc Nation denying all claims. Nicki Minaj screenshotted this by way of DJ Academics girl. Screenshotted this, and she wrote, Nicki Minaj is crap. Nicki Minaj, she put, oh no, what was that law again? And she was referring to Megan's song, His, because Megan took a little diss at her saying Megan's Law. You know, this is what she said, these HOSs, don't be mad at Megan, they're mad at Megan's Law. Now, Megan's Law refers to a federal law requiring public disclosure of registered sex offenders, basically taking a shot at Nicki Minaj's husband, Kenneth Petty, right? So that was the diss. That was something that sparked this whole little back and forth between the girls that didn't really last that long. Anyways, Nicki Minaj, she went on to say, she put, being a gay man doesn't give any woman the right to sexually grind on you or have sex in front of you. I remember seeing someone grinding on their hairstylist and he seemed so uncomfortable. Then, Nicki is insane. Like, Nicki went off on everybody. Okay, hold on. I'm going to find the rest of the post. Because she was really taunting Megan, and I thought that it was there on that source, but the full thing is not there. Hold on one second. Bear with me, you guys. We are in this together. Okay. Oh, she put, okay, so this is what she said in her caption, you know, directly taking shots at Megan. Because she screenshotted this post on her Instagram. She put, what was the name of that law again? Karma's law? Touch not my anointed law. Vengeance is the Lord's law. Minaj captioned an Instagram post. I'm referencing once again this lyric. Then she put, we give God the glory and he's only just begun. Have a blessed day if you can. LOL, the blog's posting lies. Thank you. More money for me. We're working trust. So Nicki has been having a field day, just going at everyone, being really, really upset. Now, the thing about this is that a lot of it always seems random because Nicki, she'll just like randomly do it, right? But what a lot of people, what I've been kind of seeing in the social media, although I've been taking a light break from Instagram in particular, but other social media channels, is that, you know, some people who are not just Nicki Minaj fans or Barbs, some people have been saying, you know, well, oftentimes whenever Nicki says stuff, it comes out later, right? So she has a way of going on a rant on social media with whoever she's upset at, but then oftentimes it'll be the truth later on, right? Um, yeah. So Nicki is one of them people where, you know, if you cross her, she will definitely calculate and figure out how to get you. She might not get you that time, you know, but she'll figure it out. And I think with Megan Thee Stallion, I think Megan is just, she's irritated with Megan because Megan is a rapper, right? So I think due to Megan being with Roc Nation and having close ties to Jay-Z and Beyonce and all them, you know, Nicki's kind of looking at it like, you know what, y'all want to play and have this girl up here trying to, you know, pop herself because she signed to Rock. Like, that's kind of what I think, you know, that's what I think. I think she's kind of like, y'all trying to have her get all these features, trying to make her seem like she, you know, more than what she is, and she not me. I'm just saying that's what I think. I think that's how Nicki feels, you know, because Nicki is very, you know, rapper, very like, you know, this is me, and I'm the head honcho girl up in here. Ain't no other girl gonna come. I don't care if she younger than me. You know, I don't care who she is. She gonna bow down to the queen.
If you don't like me, that's fine. But, you know, watch your mouth.
That's how Nicki Minaj is. Now Megan Thee Stallion, you know, see, I can go on a rant because I love female rap, but we're gonna leave it there. We're gonna leave it there. I'm gonna move on to the next topic. So the next topic will be Nelly and Ashanti. So if you all don't know, Nelly and Ashanti have a new reality show that's on Peacock. It's called We Belong Together. But they've been on a press run. They've been on a press run recently, and I'm looking down, you know, at my sources here. They've been on a press run recently, you know, promoting this reality show. Now, Ashanti and Nelly have a history. They were together, you know, many, many moons ago when they were in their 20s, you know, fresh in the industry, young and fun, at both of the primes of their careers. Not saying that they're not in their prime now, but, you know, we're in a different time now. People got a little bit older. And back then they were like at the height of their career, right? So they were together then. It didn't work out. Now, there was some alleged cheating that occurred on Nelly's end. Those are rumors. I'm not really sure what occurred, but Ashanti repeatedly says in a lot of her interviews, even during this press run, that, you know, there was a lot of hurt during that time period. And, you know, so there is this notion that he did something such as cheating on her. Now, according to Nelly back then, it was messy on both ends and that he just wasn't the full bad guy. And I just think he doesn't like being labeled as a cheater when he... See, I'm telling my personal opinion. Let me stop. Reporter. But the reporter hat back away. Okay, but anyways, they have this show. Ashanti is a new mother. They have a new child together. They are newlyweds. You get me? So a lot of people and especially, you know, Black folk, urban folk, we like this couple, right? It's the whole like spin the block energy, like, oh, you could double back and you could fall in love. Maybe love didn't work out when you first met that person, but maybe later on in life it could work out and you can have the dream, right? You can have your fairy tale, you can have a child and so forth, get married, do it the right way this time, right? Both of them spent the block on each other. All right. So there's been a lot. With this show coming out, there's been a lot of backlash. So the first thing that we're going to get into is Nelly and this backlash over the Trump controversy. Now, Nelly was under the Shade Room's comments, basically responding to a lot of the backlash that he has been getting due to his performance at Donald Trump's inaugural ball earlier this year in January. And Nelly, he is firing back. Now, he dropped down in the comments and he basically said that he is more pro-Black than... see, I always jumble her name and I love her down. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. I'm not going to do it this time. Hold on. Hold on. No, hold on. Hold on. I'm going to edit this out. Oh, my God. See, I know how to say her name, you guys, but I feel like to this day, I still jumble this lady's name and I really support her. Oh, I'm not going to say it. Kamala, okay. Kamala Harris, okay. Sorry about that. So, Kamala Harris, okay, because I always mess it up, okay? It's a mess. I usually say, it's a mess. Kamala Harris, okay. So, I don't know why that name is, it's the thing about her name, before I continue, guys, the thing about her name is that her name is like a name that you want to say a certain way. So I think when people mess up her name, like myself, it's because you want to say it that way, like the way that it's spelled, not the way that it's pronounced. So look, we're human, okay? Anyways, he was comparing himself to Kamala. He also defended Snoop Dogg's decision to perform at Trump's crypto ball earlier this year. But he basically said that he's more pro-black than her. This is what he said. He said, "I'll put whatever up me and Snoop Dogg. Sorry, I'll put whatever up me and Snoop Dogg do more in the community, and have been doing more for over 20 plus years against any of you that are on here just talking trash and have no stats to back up what you mean to the community." And he also put, per TMZ, "from the black families that we employ to the black children that we help every day and all year through our nonprofits." Then he also went on to say, and on top of that, we are black men married to beautiful black women and with black children. He continued on. He said, "So it should be inspiring to most, but some of y'all have a problem with because the prosecutor, who has probably locked up more black men than we've helped women of color with the white husband, did not win the election. Again, I reiterate, I did not campaign for anyone. I do not tell people who to vote for. I respect and love our country from top to bottom, good and bad." Now, this has caused a lot of controversies. He is claiming that he did not endorse anyone. He also went on to share in an interview where he talked about he shared an interview with Hot 97 where he talked about, doing this inaugural ball earlier this year. He put that he basically has respect for the office and the White House, but he never endorsed any president, right? But, I think what Nelly doesn't understand is that your affiliation looks like an endorsement. For example, when Kamala Harris was doing all these performances, during election season, right? She had Megan Thee Stallion come out, she had Cardi B come out and speak for her. But Megan Thee Stallion got a lot of backlash because, Megan's is a female rapper. She was, twerking on stage. I love Megan down, right? But it caused a lot of controversy because people were kind of like, why are we twerking at an election event? Like, this is inappropriate. But other comments and other commentary on that at the time was, well, she's an artist, let her be an artist. She's doing this for a good cause. She's endorsing Kamala Harris. You get me? So, anyways, Nelly is doubling down. Nelly is definitely doubling down, and it's causing backlash for the show. There have been countless people on social media saying how they will not watch Ashanti and Nelly's show, A, because of his, him performing at for Donald Trump, right, for this current administration at the inaugural ball, and then B, him just on camera kind of seeming, this is what people are saying, not me. Literally, you can go on YouTube right now. There are like 3,500 videos of black gossip pages and YouTube channels basically saying how Nelly is terrible. Nelly is immature. He basically is not ready for a woman like Ashanti. Ashanti's very poised, she's very classy, and Nelly is just a menace in the sense of how he says whatever at the top of the head. He seems really immature, according to them on the internet, right? So that caused backlash, but on the show, it's been other forms of backlash where people are basically questioning he and Ashanti's relationship, because there was an episode that came out where they were talking about, Ashanti was basically asking him, like, I want you to help with the baby a little bit more, like, I'm doing all this on my own. And he basically was like, I'm not doing anything for the baby until the baby can walk, until the baby gets older, until the baby can change her diapers. Okay, I'll probably insert a clip here.
Nelly quickly chimed in to remind her that he'd already said he isn't available to help until the infant can walk and talk.
So yeah, that's what happened with the baby, right? So Nelly is basically like, look, I'll give you everything in the world, but I'm not changing no diapers, right? I'm 50 years old. He said that he's too old for this. Now, Ashanti is younger than him. I believe she is 43 years old. So she's 43, I think. But Ashanti, she is about 7-8 years younger than him. And this is her first baby. This is her first time being a wife. You get me? So Ashanti is like really excited about this. Nelly, he already got a few kids. His kids are grown. Like literally, his kids are like grown, like adults. You know what I mean? Teenagers and adults. So for him, I think he's kind of like, Well, I don't know if they're teenagers, but he did say they was grown in the Breakfast Club interview, child. Okay, go back and fact check that. But basically, he's saying like, look, I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. Okay. So he's getting backlash for that, and then people are also let's go back to the Trump thing. People are also upset at Ashanti because people feel like Ashanti should hold her husband more accountable, because when you get married, it's not just two people by themselves. You are a unit now. You are one, right? You have a husband, wife. Y'all are both the same people when you are married, especially, right? People feel like Ashanti is not holding him accountable. Now, on the reality show We Belong Together on Peacock, there was a scene with Ashanti and her mom. They were in the kitchen talking, and basically, the mom and Ashanti, she was saying how Ashanti has passed family members. You know, her grandfather, who was a part of the civil rights movement, he really played a role with, you know, helping Martin Luther King, and he was very involved in civil rights, right? So they come from a history of that. That's what her mother said on camera on the show as they were in the kitchen talking. And Ashanti basically was stating how she was just saying how she doesn't share her political views. She doesn't share any of her political views. She shies away from that. She never really does that in her interviews, right? Her mom was asking her, like, do you feel that this is a good idea, though? Because you still need to speak up for yourself. Like, yes, he could choose it, but as his wife, you also can say, hey, I don't think you should do this. And then Ashanti kind of deflected. I don't want to say, deflected a little bit. She was just kind of like, well, ultimately, it's his choice. Like, I can't tell him to do anything. You know, but as she said it, a lot of people were pointing out how you could see that she didn't want him to do it, right? But he's not listening to her, right? So that was kind of the vibe, and I kind of felt that way too when her mom was talking to her. And her mom was like, okay, well, it is ultimately his decision, but for you, she was like, I'm your manager, you know, I'm your mom. So for me, I want to make sure that you are still being heard. I want to make sure that you're still expressing yourself in this marriage, right? As soon as she said that, Nelly walks in, and it was so weird. Nelly walks into the kitchen, and he was like, I hope y'all not discussing her leaving me and divorcing me. And he like laughed. It was so awkward. It was so awkward, you guys. It was so awkward. So this has caused like this controversy. You know, we have the baby, him not want to change diapers. Then also too, he doesn't want to move to New York. You know, Ashanti wants to move back to New York. She doesn't want to live in St. Louis. She don't want to live in St. Louis and raise the baby. Nelly wants to live in St. Louis. He's like, you know, I'm here. My family's here, but Ashanti wants to be with her family. So they're kind of having some, you know, things with that, you know. So a lot of people are really not happy about the show. They're not happy about Nelly, especially. Ashanti is kind of like a casualty in this to me. Now, Ashanti, in regards to the Trump thing, let me make this point here. Ashanti did say that, you know, it's a partnership. And she was like, you know, this is my husband and, you know, I'm gonna ride this out. Like, when you're married, you gotta stick it out. So that's basically how she's handling it, you know, so she's getting some backlash for that as well. Anyways, that's that. So one thing I want to share to wrap that up is that a lot of people, not a lot, but I've seen some Black people say how they're not going to watch that show, but I'm sure somebody's still watching it because people are still fans of Ashanti and Nelly. Like, for me, I love Ashanti. This is Journalist Head Off. Ashanti is one of my favorite, like, female artists from the early 2000s. I love everybody, though. Y'all know I love music in general, but Ashanti, like, I grew up on Ashanti. You get me? So Ashanti, Aaliyah, Maya, Brandy, those girls, like, they always hold, like, a Sierra, like, they just always hold a special place in my heart, because I'm just, like, I feel like I grew up with all of them. Monica, you know what I mean? Keisha Cole, like, all of them, you know? Mary J. Blige. So, yeah, a lot of people are upset. Anyways, to wrap up this celebrity episode, I'm going to briefly talk about Cardi B. So Cardi B and Stefon Diggs are together. Now, Cardi B did suddenly delete photos of her and Stefon Diggs off of her Instagram page. It sparked a lot of, you know, fans and supporters basically hinting that they're probably divorced. Not divorced, they're not married, broken up. I said divorced. You know, in my mind, I think everyone and their mama is married. Like, oh my God. I'd be like, girl, is that your husband? Anyways, it sparked this whole thing of like Cardi B and him being broken up. But the rumors basically were shut down by Stefan directly. Now, before they were shut down, there was like this fabricated tweet that came out from Stefan Diggs basically saying that Cardi B's BBL stinks. Now, if you all don't know, they're saying that women who get a BBL, or men, because you know the boys get the BBLs too, and non-binaries get the BBLs, now you get your little butt done. They say that there's a certain odor that comes out with the BBL, right? So Offset made a comment saying that her BBL stunk when they were going back and forth. But there was this fabricated tweet that came out. The fans or whatever put it together, basically framing it as Stefan tweeting that. He came out and said that was cap. That's what he tweeted back. He was like, "This is cap," on Instagram and socials or whatever. He was like, "This is completely cap," right? So then, yeah. She deleted his photos. That whole fake tweet came out saying that her BBL stinks. That caused this weird thing. You know, Cardi B seems like a very clean woman to me. I don't think she stinks, but you know, I don't know why people keep saying that BBL stink. I've never smelled a BBL, but they're saying that there's a certain odor that you get when you have a BBL, like a Brazilian butt lift. There's a certain odor. Now, I don't know if the odor comes when you're recovering. I probably got to research that. Does the odor come when you're recovering, or does it come when you sweat or something? Because, you know, it's like fat that's moved or whatever. You know, I wonder if it's different than butt shots. Anyways, so Stefan Diggs, he posted a video on his YouTube where it was him working out with Cardi B, and that immediately diffused the rumors, right? So Cardi B then tweeted, she put, shut the F up. This is what TMZ captured here. Then she also put, go to dinner, go shopping, go to the park, get off the internet, enough. Now, Cardi B, she has been in Paris doing her things, killing it in fashion. She's been performing her single Outside. She was also at Beyonce's tour when Beyonce brought out Jay-Z last week. That was like a big thing because Jay-Z hasn't performed on stage in like 7 years or so, or like years. So Cardi B was there in the VIP section with Kelly Rowland and Kelly Rowland's husband. And, you know, so Cardi B been making her rounds, you know. Here's what I think, you guys. I think that she is great at marketing. I'm just being honest. Cardi knows the power that she has of social media. Cardi B is one of the most social media famous people of our time, right? She got her fame and her start off of social media. That literally built her career, right? So wiping her from the page is going to cause a promo for the single Outside. Now, Outside is already doing good. Last time I checked, the single Outside was number 10 on Billboard. So it's doing good. By the way, I like that song a lot. I play it every day. Like, I like Outside. Now, I haven't played it today, but literally days before this, I play that song every day. I really like that song. It's such a cute record. It's such a just fun record, and it fits her narrative. It fits where she is. It fits her brand. You get me? Like, it fits where she is in her life. You know, the whole breakup from Offset. She's a mom. She's outside now. She's in the streets. When in the streets, she got a new man, dating a sexy athlete. You know. So anyways, that is the last of this entertainment podcast. So thank you for bearing it through with me, you all. Like, thank you for like just bearing it through. Like, thank you for watching. Now, drop down below, leave comments, let me know your thoughts about any of these topics. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to share this podcast and tell a friend. Thank you for watching, and thank you for like kicking it. I hope you made it to the end. If you made it to the end, I just want you to know I appreciate you. I know this is a long podcast. I didn't mean to make it this long, but honey, I'm a talker. All right, bye.